The Frostfall Lucky Pick is an insanely unique style banner we have never seen before. It comes with an excellent new single target bursty mage, phenomenal against bosses, Lyra, and then the most exciting part of it, you get to choose whom she is paired with on the 15X. You can pick any normal hero. So those are not event exclusive, not ancient exclusive, not limited, and not lords, but anyone else is available. So from Elwyn to Hex to Arrogance to Silas to Virna to Magda, the list goes on and on. Oh, and by the way, we have a huge polls party tomorrow for Lyra and whatever hero you select to also be on Rate Up. The link for that sign up is in the description in the top pinned comment. Polls parties are 100% free. I pull for anyone who asks. It is as simple as that. Hope to see you there. If you're curious who to pick, I did a very definitive and ultimate tier list video that I posted last night. That thing took forever, so go check it out. But essentially, this banner is so amazing, and Sun Wukong looms large over it. So I think some people have kind of like lost touch with how good this banner actually is. Should you summon? That is the question. For almost anybody, the answer is yes, with the caveat, you know you'll get to 200 summons for your base first copy of Sun Wukong. As long as you know you can do that, and unless you're some crazy big spender or saver, that's how the priority should go. Get your first copy of Sun Wukong on the guarantee, which obviously comes after this, but get all your ducks in a row that you know that's going to happen, and then go for this banner. Because the idea that you can pair Lyra, who we're going to talk about in a second, who's a very good single target mage and very, very good against bosses, a very unique, first ever seen faction pairing as well, that you can pair her with any normal hero of your choice is phenomenal. You hear us losing our mind over Elwyn banners and Silas banners and Arrogance banners. That's what this banner can be, except it can be exactly the appropriate banner for your account. Let's get into it, guys, and discuss a very fun banner. A very fun banner!
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
All right, I have a full guide on Lyra coming out tomorrow, so we're going to get much more into the specifics then. But the gist of it is she's got crazy single target bursts, and she can summon these cosmic rift things that deal really, really strong damage. They last for 15 seconds. She can summon them 40% of the time from her basics, so the vast majority of the time, there's going to be uptime on both of them. And they kind of attack right alongside her. You can see here they mimic exactly her attacks on any one enemy in range. They can be mimicked to include basic attacks, ultimate, and even contribution power to focus fire. So that's what Pyros and Twin Fiend do. I've heard people say, it's weird they didn't say Soul Cadence. Soul Cadence doesn't do focus fire. He does Pyro Blitz, and it is considered a different thing in this game. That's why it is a different name. But all those things her Cosmic Rifts can also be contributing to. You'll see the mimicked attacks of the basic attacks and the focus fire will have their damage halved. With Awakenings, you can have that basic damage no longer halved, but that's way down the road with a ton of Awakenings. However, you'll notice they don't mention her ultimate. With her ultimate, if you've got her and 2 Cosmic Rifts up, you're tripling what the ultimate normally would be. That ultimate is a huge, big old blast. So if we do the math here, this comes out to 700% damage with only 700 skill costs. That's at max skill ups. And if you have 2 Cosmic Rifts up, every time you do this, it's 2100% damage. So obviously she's not the same hero as Sun Wukong, but they both have a 700 skill cost burst. One is magic damage and for a platform unit, one is physical damage and for a melee unit, Lyra and Sun Wukong respectively. But you can see Sun Wukong does a burst of 1800% damage. She does a burst of 2100% damage as long as you're being, cognizant of what's going on and paying attention to make sure both Cosmic Rifts are there. They're pretty easy to see and they're up all the time. So it's pretty easy. Her basic attack, I think, is the most underrated part of her kit. All of her basic attacks place magic res reduction. So if you like Torador or Ares, they do a 20% defense break on all of their damage, basically all of their basics and everything. It's 100% uptime. With her, since her ult is only one big burst, everything else she does is a basic attack. So this is 100% uptime. However, instead of a defense break, this is a magic break. So it's a magic res reduction break, which basically just reduces the magic defenses. 30% permanent uptime. I can't overstate how strong that is. It's the best in the game. For any hero that can maintain permanent uptime on a defense break or a magic res break, she is numero uno. Estrid can keep really good uptime on minus 30%, but it is not 100%. This is a full thing, and it's stackable with vulnerabilities and stuff like that. No one's talking about this, and it is phenomenal. More on it tomorrow, but she's really, really good, and people are acting like she's some consolation prize. She's going to be one of the best DPS on many, many, many people's accounts. There's nothing more to it. She's got some passives over here. When her ultimate meteor hits, if at least one cosmic rift exists, it increases her attack. So another reason you want to make sure those summons are there and up. And then if 2 are there, she can dispel. So if you time this out well, she's now the 3rd dispeller in the game. So you're going to need 2 once Apocalypse 3 comes. Maybe you missed on Kagiri, then you definitely need her. But as of now, it's just Kagiri and Lucius. And now she is the 3rd and the 2nd platformer that can do it. She's just very unique in a lot of ways with this magic res, this huge magic defense break, and this very nice dispel. The final passive here, after the hero and cosmic rift deal damage to the same enemy 20 times, it increases her damage by 10%. It stacks up to 3 times, and as long as she stays on one enemy, it's going to be permanent. So for bosses, this is crazy. It doesn't take long to stack it up. It will go up to 30%. And you can see here with skill ups, it actually goes up to 15% per stack. So that is 45%. The sun set and it changed the lighting in my room, and I realized it made me shine bright like a diamond. So we got to change that. I ain't Rihanna. But there you go. Lyra's great. The Awakenings are really nice too. Starfall Strike, the ultimate, it can extend the duration of the rifts. So from 15 seconds each to 23, increase the attack there to 300. That's really, really nice because she's a magic DPS with pretty high attack, but getting that up towards 17 away from 5,000 at 4983. That is great. Now you can see the A3 when her passive Celestial Confluence, when it reaches those full stacks. That's the last passive we discussed. As long as she's not moving targets, then the effect is permanent. She's also going to have her mimicked basic attacks be 100% of damage. So normally her ultimate, the mimicked attacks from her rifts are equal. But for the other ones, the basic attacks and the contribution to focus fire, those are halved. Now the basic attacks are not halved. The A4, we get some penetration, so she ignores 8% extra of the magic resistance. So combine that with her magic resistance break, the magic resistance down debuff, she's ignoring 38%. So that with a pretty high attack number on a magic DPS, really, really good. And then finally, the A5 is insanity. So her base rage regen percentage, what you build on her, is reduced by 15%. That's not that important. You already get such a nice contribution from Pantheon, and it's not too hard to build. But the trade-off is that's the negative. The positive, her ultimate now ignores 70% of magic resistance. She's putting on the 30% magic resistance break. It is a full ignore of all magic defenses. So her damage basically is just like Silas, like during his ultimate when he's doing his soul sniping. She's ignoring all the magic resistance as if it's true damage, but she can also crit. This A5 is crazy, crazy, crazy. As you can see, I think this is a great hero. I think she's really good, and I think she is getting slept on. But the most exciting part is pairing her with other heroes. So let's discuss that quickly. So, like I said, I have a full ultimate tier list rating all 55 potential heroes you could pair with Lyra. But long story short, some of the best heroes in the game. So here we are on my website, fastidious.gg, best site in the realm. Let's zoom in just a bit. And you can see, like, let's just sort by overall rating, right? Ardia, not an option because she's ancient exclusive. Dolores, she's epic, so you're not having her as a legendary rate up. But then get into it. Elowen, best hero in the game. Why not pair her with Lyra if you don't have her? Hotsit, amazing choice. We got a bunch of ancient exclusive lords. Then Silas, phenomenal. Can't pick Tordor because he's a lord. Can't pick Valdron because he's an ancient lord. Can't pick Ajax because he's a lord rate unnameable. Same with Araka. But then we're back into it. Arrogance. Here's someone you might not pick, Broke here, because he's a common bucket hero, but still phenomenal. Constance, Hex. The list goes on and on. Comet. You can't do Lust, no limited heroes, but just Setram wouldn't be the top choice, but excellent. Valkyra, Virna. It goes on and on and on, these amazing options. So if you don't have these heroes, you see how good I think Lyra is, and you'll see that in the guide tomorrow. She's excellent, though I will say being a single target mage isn't the craziest thing in this game. It really limits you, but for being that, she's really, really good. And she's someone you're going to want to get. She certainly is not a consolation prize, but you can be pairing her with Elowen or Silas or Hex or Constance or Arrogance. You get it. Go watch the tier list video if you need to. I want to also talk about some math, because I know looming over all of this is Sun Wukong, right? Everyone, everyone should prioritize getting that first copy of Sun Wukong because he is guaranteed. Nothing else, as we're about to discuss when we go through the math, is guaranteed from after your first copy of Sun Wukong. Then his banner just transforms into a 15x legendary rate up on a singular hero, him, Sun Wukong. And then with the Lyra and the +1, they're not guaranteed at all. It's still a 15x. But because with that Lyra +1, assuming you really want Lyra, which I think everyone should, you're going to get Lyra and then your other like most desirable normal hero in the game. So it's Lyra and Elowen, for example, right? That gives you 2 bites at the apple every time you pull a legendary, 2 chances that you're hitting something phenomenal. With Sun Wukong, it's just the one. So basically you're looking at, with Lyra and Elowen, for example, every time you hit a legendary, just about a 40% chance, it comes out to a 38% chance that you're going to hit one or the other. Whereas with Sun Wukong, after that first guarantee within 200, it's a normal banner. And each time you just have a 19% chance that it's going to be him. So let's do the math, as I like to do. We've got kind of 4 things here, 3 heroes, but it will make sense in a second. You have a 15x on Lyra. 15x isn't a real thing. Just call it a rate up. The rate up on Lyra, almost certainly she's going to be a rare bucket hero because she's so strong. That gives you a 19% chance every legendary to pull her. So not to get her, period, but once you get a legendary, that it will be her. Now with the Lyra friend, parentheses rare, that means you're picking someone to pair with Lyra that is a rare bucket hero. So if you choose to go for like Fasti, for example, the chance would be even higher. It would be like 23%. But I'm assuming the vast majority of you are going to pick an Elowen or an Arrogance or a Silas, right? So we're assuming it's a rare bucket hero. That will also have a 19%. But then you'll see, as with any or functionality in statistics, getting Lyra or her friend, so Lyra or Elowen or Lyra or Arrogance, you can just add those together. So you actually have a 38% chance. Whereas after that initial guarantee on Sun Wukong, which I will reiterate is the top priority, but then if you're thinking, I'm going to have all these extra summons, should I use that on Lyra or save it to go for copies of Sun Wukong? Once you get that first copy, he's just a normal 19%. So I'm not going to go through all the math. I've done it in a lot of past videos, but basically to calculate this, you need to know the odds to not pull that hero. So you can see the chance every legendary to not get Lyra or whatever hero you pair with her, like Elowen, is 62%, simply 100% minus 38%. Whereas Sun Wukong, every time there's an 81% chance you're not going to get him. So it's 100% minus 19%. And you can just see, so this is number of legendaries pulled, and then each time, what are the chances that by that number you've pulled at least one of the hero or hero group? I say hero group because we're saying Lyra or the Lyra friend, so Lyra or Elowen for this example, as opposed to Sun Wukong. So with Sun Wukong, you get that first copy, and then you say, I want more. Their first legendary pulled after that, there's a 19% chance you will get Sun Wukong, obviously, because that's what his rate is. With the second legendary, at that point, you're looking at a 34.4% chance one of those 2 at least was Sun Wukong. Even by your third legendary pulled on this banner, which, by the way, if you're going to pity, is coming up towards 600 summons. So just trying to get that A1, get that extra copy after the guarantee, it's still a 46.9% chance you get it. That means less than 50% chance. It's less than a coin flip. You're going to hit the dupe. It is not until your 4th legendary on average pulled on his banner that you have an over 50% chance to get that A1. If we go all the way to 10 summons, literally 12.2% of the time after you get your base copy from the guarantee, your next 10 summons, 10 legendary summons, which by the way can take 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 more summons, worst case scenario, over that period, there's still going to be a 12.2% chance you still have not pulled an extra copy of him. So for 87.8% of you, you'll have pulled at least one, if not more. But it's not at all without the realm of possibility. You just swing and miss 10 times. Compare that to the far higher rate. You get the 2 things you're looking for, Lyra or Elowen, Lyra or Arrogance, so on and so on. Obviously, you start out with a 38% chance you're going to hit him on your first one. That's what the rate is. But instantly, it jumps up dramatically. By just your second legendary pulled on the banner, you have nearly a 2/3 chance, over a 60% chance at 61.6%, that the hero you hit within those first 2, at least one of them will be Lyra or Elowen, Lyra or the hero you chose to pair with her. By your third legendary pulled on the banner, you have over a 3 and 4 chance, over a 75% chance at 76.2% that you will have pulled at least one of them. Now bring it over those 10 summons, 10 legendary summon on the Lyra banner with the hero selector you decide upon. You have over a 99% chance you've hit at least one. By even your 5th summon, you're looking at a over 90% chance. So it's just so much more in your favor. So unless you're a huge spender, or you have tons saved, or you're just a gambling man, woman, or person, Sun Wukong dupes is not the way to go. This is the way to go. Full stop. A big caveat, obviously, if you want to just get Lyra and then you already have every other hero, you have Elwyn, you have Constance, you have Arrogance, you have Hex, you have Silas, you have Hotsit, so on. You have everybody on my tier list. You have all 55 heroes. Then of course not, right? Then go for the Sun Wukong dupes if that's what you want to do. But for anyone else with holes in their roster, this is the way. Really, unless you have tons of money and tons of summons saved and diamonds to push towards this. On average, right? On average, to get Sun Wukong to A3, not even A5, to get those 3 copies, it's going to be between 1,500 and 2,000 summons. Could it happen for you in 500 summons? Sure. Could it also happen for you in 3,000 summons? Yes. Getting him A5 typically will take between 2,500 summons and 3,500 summons. It's really as simple as that, guys. So do that math, or I've done it for you. Process that math. Make your decision. All in all, we've got 2 awesome banners. It's a good problem to have, but I do hope people are thoughtful and not just say, I want Monkey Boy, I want dupes, unless you're willing to accept the fact that for some of you it will work out, but for the vast majority, it will not. So this Lyra banner is pretty juiced up. I hope you're all as excited as I am. We're doing a huge polls party for it tomorrow, so absolutely check that out. We've got a link in the description and the top pinned comment. Thank you for watching. If you have any more questions, do let me know. Share it with your mother. Subscribe to the channel. I've been Fastidious, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.